Welcome to Ascending Flames. Today, we're not just exploring a special location. We are decoding a cosmic process described in the Mahabharata, the Vishnu Puran, and the Bhagavad Purana, the Samudra Manthan, which is also known as the churning of the ocean and the link with Neelkanth Temple. The real path from Haridwar to Neelkanth Mahadev Temple is around 32 kilometers. From poison to transformation to divinity. Now let's begin. The universe is out of balance. The Devas, once radiant, powerful, aligned with cosmic order, are now weakened. According to the Mahabharata, this begins with a curse. Indra, king of the Devas, driven by arrogance, disrespects sage Durvasa, and just like that, the divine energy, the Tejas, collapses. This is not just weakness, this is the loss of cosmic authority. And in that vacuum, the Asuras rise. Raw power, uncontrolled force, desire without restraint. This is the first principle, order versus power. The Devas turn to Vishnu, the preserver, the strategist, and here's where the story becomes technical. Vishnu doesn't destroy the Asuras, he does something far more complex. He proposes collaboration. Because in Vedic cosmology, creation doesn't happen through purity alone. It requires friction, opposition, dual forces in motion. The plan is precise. Mount Mandara becomes the axis, Vasuki the serpent becomes the rope, and Kashika Sagra, the cosmic ocean, becomes the medium. Objective: extract Amrit, the essence of immortality. But this alliance is not trust. The Devas know the outcome. The Asuras chase desire. This is not unity, this is controlled conflict. The mountain is lifted, Mandara rises, a cosmic pillar, but immediately a failure. It begins to sink. No foundation, no transformation. So Vishnu becomes Kurma, that great tortoise. Now there is a base. Vasuki coils around the mountain, the Devas take the tail, disciplined. The Asuras choose the head, driven by ego. The churning begins, push, release, energy transforms into the ocean, which now becomes a cosmic reactor. Then the first output emerges. Not nectar, it was poison. Halahal. This is critical. Every transformation first releases toxicity. Existence begins to collapse. Even Devas, Asuras step back in fear. And then Shiva emerges. He doesn't just destroy the poison, he doesn't reject it, he drinks it. But here's the precision. He does not let it enter his body, he holds it in his throat. Containment, not consumption. His throat turns blue, Neelkanth, the one who absorbs chaos without becoming it. With balance restored, the churning continues. And now creation begins to unfold. Treasures emerge. Abundance, royal authority, divine consciousness, infinite nourishment. Each one not random, but a refined output of chaos processed correctly. And finally, Dhanvantari emerges holding the Amrit, the goal, the prize, the essence of immortality. And instantly the alliance breaks, weapons rise, energy collides, because desire was always the hidden variable. So Vishnu adapts, he becomes Mohini, not force but illusion. Maya as strategy, Asuras distracted, Devas receive the Amrit, balance is restored, not permanent but cyclical. Creation never stops, and that was the story of the churning of the ocean. Now, let's look at something very interesting in the story. On one side of the churning, we have the Asuras. And who is guiding them? The teacher, Shukracharya. But what does Shukra actually mean? It means Venus. Yes, the planet Venus. Now go to the other side. The Devas, the gods, are also churning. And standing with them is their teacher, Brihaspati. And Brihaspati refers to Jupiter. So now think about this carefully. On one side you have Venus, on the other side you have Jupiter. This is not random. This is not a coincidence. Because now the story is no longer just about gods and demons. It is starting to look like a map of the sky. And then something even more interesting happens as the churning continues. Chandra, the moon, emerges. Now this is critical because the moon is not symbolic in the same way. It is a real celestial body. And the story doesn't just stop there. It mentions Subramanya, the being responsible for eclipses, which later becomes Rahu, the north lunar node, and Ketu, the south lunar node. These are actually astronomical points used even today to explain solar and lunar eclipses. So now there is no doubt this entire event is connected to the sky. Now the question is, if this is happening in the sky, where is the churning? Where is the serpent? Where are the Devas and the Asuras? Look up. There is a constellation, a massive serpent stretching across the northern sky called the Draco constellation. This is the snake. Now look beside it. On one side there is a large group of stars, on the other side a smaller group. In modern astronomy, the larger group is called the Big Dipper and the smaller group is called the Little Dipper. Now match this with the myth. Larger group equal to Devas, smaller group equal to Asuras, snake in the middle, Vasuki, and all of this inside the Milky Way galaxy, the ocean of milk. It is not an ocean, it is the Milky Way. But why this snake? Why is Draco the center of everything? Because of one star, Thuban. Thousands of years ago, Thuban was the North Star, not Polaris. For over 2000 years, ancient civilizations used Thuban for navigation, direction, astronomy, and Thuban lies inside the Draco. So every night people would look at the sky and see a serpent in the center, stars rotating around it, two groups on either side. In other words, they were watching the Samudra Manthan happening in the sky. Let's get back to Lord Shiva right now. So after consuming the deadliest poison in existence, Shiva did not remain in the chaos. He withdrew. He moved into the silence of the Himalayas to a place we know as Neelkanth. Not to escape, but to stabilize the poison within him. He did not destroy it, he contained it. And in that stillness, the destroyer became the protector. So what does it mean? The story of Samudra Manthan is not just mythology. It's a symbolic description of the sky, where Venus and Jupiter represents opposing forces. The moon emerges as a celestial event. Rahu and Ketu explains eclipses, and the entire churning is the motion of stars around a cosmic axis. Thank you for watching Ascending Flames. Stay curious, keep questioning, don't accept everything at face value. Seek truth, find answers, live free. Because the truth isn't given, it's discovered.